brought to you almost live from the Dude in the Basement Studios. Why? Because that's where the good stuff is. It's Sips, Suds, and Smokes with your smoking host, the good old boys. Now it's sippin' time.
Hey, welcome to this Sips episode where everything good in life is worth discussing. We are the best thing on at 2 a.m. It's a 1-hour show that's mildly entertaining for about 22 minutes on a good day. Hey, we're banned in 3 countries, 1 entire state, 6 municipalities, and Cousin Harold will not speak to us. Yet what again?
Win-win.
Well, our soft goal is actually to offend at least one person every episode, and today's target is probably going to be everyone that loves corn whiskey with this episode. What do you think, guys?
Well,
I'm not worried about it.
It is plausible.
It's cheap corn whiskey. People will be offended.
So, one of your hosts here at the table is this good old boy, Mike. Joining me here at the table is Made Man Bob.
Always good to be here.
And good old boy, Harmeet.
Thanks for having me in person for once instead of on Skype.
Wow, how about that? We are actually covering this episode at a really great location. Our Sips episodes are all about wine, distilled tea, or I should say distilled spirits, tea, and coffee. Today's episode is actually featuring an audience participation show. Probably people can actually read as well. We're actually featuring Gifted Horse, a blended product out of the Orphan Barrel series. We're actually recording at the Gator Club in downtown Sarasota, Florida, where there's high quality of motorized scooters, and you can get really good dentures in this part of Florida as well.
God's waiting room.
Yes. No, that's St. Pete.
Yeah, same thing.
That's a little further north. It's actually also home to the Sarasota Whiskey Society, a group that we should have heavily paid much better to join us on the show today, that's for sure. This is a really fabulous venue. Really a great storied part of Sarasota. This building that we're recording in was actually constructed around 1917, and probably part of the colorful history of this building is this was actually a brothel.
I can see
for probably upwards of about 30 years, almost mostly for the first part, about 17 years, and then probably for another 10 years, kind of flying a bit under the radar. But a really great piece of history in the Florida and downtown Sarasota area. I want to thank them for hosting us for this show, and really great venue. So thank you very much to the Gator Club for sure.
Thank you.
And the crowd goes wild. Well, Bob is actually going to cover the background on today's product, so let's get right into that.
All right. The Orphan Barrel Project is an aptly named venture from Diageo, which has over the past several years acquired unique access to various warehouses storing rare and mature bourbon and rye, some from cherished mothballs distilleries like Stitzel Weller. Whiskey aficionados and collectors have been snatching up these releases, Old Blowhard, Forged Oak, Lost Prophet, and the Red Oak lineup, like casts of Thirsty Falcons, knowing that they have some of the last drops of some of these discontinued, or at least very rare spirits. This line is not only sourced, but it's defining that as a brand characteristic. You have no idea where this juice comes from. For their latest expression, they tried something different. Evidently, they had always set out to release younger whiskeys this time around, but a serendipitous accident happened and changed their direction somewhat. So here's how the folks from Diageo spun the tale about Gifted Horse.
Is this in the chapter of marketing spin?
From Diageo?
Oh, no.
Never. They don't do that.
That would never happen.
No, Wilbur.
This is 84-year whiskey.
Yeah, no.
99.95.
The Gifted Horse is 115 proof. It's comprised 38.5% 17-year-old Kentucky straight bourbon distilled at Bernheim Distillery, historically located at 17th and Breckenville in Louisville, Kentucky. while operated by United Distillers. It also contains 51% 4-year-old bourbon and 10.5% 4-year-old corn whiskey. Both of these were produced at MGP in Indiana. Additionally, the individual whiskeys were stored at their original distilleries before being moved to Stitzel-Weller, where they were mingled and an error occurred. Beginning with a nose hinting at apple skin, almond, toffee, raisins, and slight milk chocolate, the Gifted Horse has unique tasting notes of caramel, boxed pear, and fruitcake. This unusual blend's fruity notes become more apparent with a splash of water. Average retail on this is about $50 and is fairly widely available.
Well, the part about this whole lineup, which I don't get, is why would Diageo actually want to source somebody else's product? I mean, they have tons of capacity. Even for producing a 4-year-old product in this blend, to me, that's like Coca-Cola sourcing RC Cola. It just makes absolutely no sense to me. I'm actually one of those idiots that I like to know what's in the bottle and actually where it came from. Do you think this complicates the whole sourcing concept, even further?
I think they muddy the waters intentionally because by drawing from several sources, they give themselves more leeway for future production. Because, the brown spirits surge keeps going and building and building. When they release products like this, where they can bring different blends to bear, and using especially something like they had, I don't know how many barrels of that 17-year-old they had, but after 17 years, some of that whiskey's got to be very tired, right? Too much oak. So blending it back with something younger and lighter gives it new life and makes it a product that's palatable and marketable.
Yeah, so I get the whole point of why you would blend, but why would you blend with somebody else's juice?
Because you bought the juice.
Because you bought the juice already.
Got it.
Because somebody said, I wrote the check.
In a deal, you picked up somebody's warehouse, and
do you really think you can source products actually cheaper than you can manufacture them yourself?
Well, you didn't pay for that 17 years where it's sitting in the warehouse.
And
they probably paid pennies on the dollar.
I think you could, actually, maybe at the end of the day. You're paying for time, probably. You're definitely paying a lot more for that juice, because of time, than you would for the 4-year-old.
Well, the thing is, Diageo doesn't have an active distillery right now in the U.S. They're building that one that's out east of Louisville now, where they're going to start producing Bullet. But even Bullet, their biggest U.S. brand, is sourced. So, they don't have anything currently making. When all of the big buy-ups occurred between all the old holding companies, the Shenleys, the National Distillers, and all of that, and Diageo came in, all these guys, they ended up with lots of stocks from lots of different places, and that's really, as I understand it, that's what's sitting in the rickhouses now at Stitzel-Weller. It's all the odds and ends they got from the last 15, 20 years of buyouts. So did they source the MGP? The younger stuff they probably did, but heck, they may have ended up with some of that stuff through one of the acquisitions. But as far as producing it themselves, I don't believe that still is going to be up and running probably for another year or more. So,
wow, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
They got plenty of distilleries in Scotland, but in the U.S., nothing.
So you think the fact that they just didn't have domestic juice available is why maybe they created some of this series, or is this really about?
They've got stocks and stocks of barrels sitting in Stitzel-Weller now, stuff that they have inherited through one acquisition or another, and they need to do something with it. Some of that stuff is getting pretty. The Blowhard was what 20
years old.
Yeah,
or 20 was it
23? I thought
23. You're right.
This stuff is on.
Barterhouse is 20.
Even really excellent whiskey stored in the best place in the rickhouse at that age, it's that's a crapshoot that you're going to get something that's still good. So I think right now they're trying to empty the warehouse of the stuff that they have before they lose it, which is fine by me because we're the beneficiaries of getting some of this older juice.
So, Harmeet, do you think this is about actually getting shelf space as well?
Oh, definitely. They're always vying for shelf space. Look, I'm a retailer, and these guys are in there week after week, day after day, trying to get new products on there, trying to push other competitive products out of the way. Suntory bought Jim Beam, and Jim Beam is pushing a huge now in my store in South Florida. They're trying to bring in new products. Heaven Hill is always trying to get more stuff in the store. Diageo has to get their things on the shelves. And there's all these other smaller distilleries and craft producers coming out. There's more and more whiskey, and there's a lot of competition.
So, I mean, even the mystique of the fact that you don't know where this juice is coming from is almost producing a viral marketing effort in and of itself. It's like saying you're buying what could be there. It could be Stitzelweller juice that's in this. We're not going to tell you that because under contract we can't, but it could be. So people are almost paying the premium for the myth, aren't they?
Yeah, there's a lot of every time one of these releases comes out, all of the different Facebook groups and whiskey boards light up as to trying to figure out, okay, what did Stitzelweller say this was, and do we believe them? It's not like they're giving. Usually, they're not giving exact information. They're alluding to things, and it seems like as soon as a new release comes out, everybody is jumping on it. Everybody is claiming to know something and trying to figure it out. So,
absolutely. Well, really fascinating discussion, and I'm sure that Diageo is going to kick this can down the line. I'm quite confident that they're going to almost perpetuate the myth, more and more. Hey, we're going to be right back after this commercial break, and we'll talk more about Gifted Horse. We'll be right back in 1 minute. Hey, welcome back to Sips, Suds, and Smokes. On today's episode, on this Sips episode, we are doing an audience participation show in the Gator Club in Sarasota, Florida. Really great to be here at the Gator Club. So we're actually talking about Gifted Horse from Diageo today. And good old boy Brent was kind enough to join us for today. And I thought that I'd take a minute and ask him a bit about his thoughts. I'm going to let his colleagues kind of harass him while I pass the microphone over here.
Thanks. Nice to be here today. Of all the Orphan Barrel items, I find this one just a little bit on the harsh side. It just doesn't blend well for me in my taste. So it's my least favorite of all of them. I like Old Blowhard the best. But that one, all of them are kind of tough to get. You can find Rhetoric a lot of places and stuff. But this one here just doesn't grab me. It's just okay. It's, when I have to give it one of the ratings, I got to go 2, which... well,
isn't that nice?
Yeah, not that nice, but it's, nice. It's
between a 1 and a 2 then.
I know. Well, it's not my favorite. It's okay. It's it's something you can sit down and drink. But when you got the other choices, why would you choose this one if you have the other Orphan Barrels? If you have the different ones, this would be the last one you would pick.
I don't know about the last one. Really, you liked Forged Oak better?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I like them all better.
Okay.
And like I said, Old Blowhard is my favorite of them all.
Ooh, man, but that one was just way too woody for me.
Yeah.
That one had been. I like an aged bourbon. I don't mind a woody one.
You didn't like Barterhouse, but I really like Barterhouse.
I like Barterhouse.
Barterhouse.
I like that one. I really like that one.
Yeah.
I like them all better than this one. It's unfortunate.
You've made that
because-
clear, Bob.
No, I know that, but it's unfortunate because I thought I was expecting this one. I was anticipating the release. I was, I went out and I got it. I tried it at the bar right away. I thought it was okay. I went out and I bought a bottle. I took it home. I tried it again, and it just, when I put it up against a lot of other things I like to drink, this just wasn't my cup of tea.
It's because it's whiskey. It's not
Yes.
tea.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a different show.
Stick with tea. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
What about the finish? I mean, what about this you like? I mean, I'm smelling it. You don't like the nose or the palate? What's going on?
Oh, I love the nose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the nose and stuff. I just think that the taste on the tongue gives you a little bit bitter. It's got a little bit bitter and peppery taste to it.
Oh, yeah.
Did you eat something weird before you came here, Bob?
No.
Brent, sorry.
No.
I'm sorry, I've been drinking.
Yeah.
All
No,
you
I
white
didn't.
people look alike to me. Let me tell you something. I'm sitting here at the table, and there are all these white people. And they're all about the same age. They all have the same haircut. The only thing that sets Brent apart, he's not wearing glasses. That's it. Damn white people. And they all names, all with B. Bob, Brent, this, that, the other, whatever. If you look in my iPhone right now and you search for Paul, there are 23 Pauls. White people need more names.
Oh, well.
Most of the
So
people
sorry,
in your
I
family
screwed
have
up the
names
name.
with no
I was
vowels.
about to say,
Come on.
but none of them start with the letter Q.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, there you go. See, there's always an upside to white people never have a first name that start with the letter Q. So
But, okay, so you like the nose, but I understand you're saying the palate's disappointing.
yeah. Well, listen, we skipped one thing here, which was to kind of go over our SIPS ratings today. I'm going to ask Harmeet to go over the SIPS ratings. We're going to come along, and then I'm going to turn this back over to good old boy Brent. We got a little thing to do as we go through our audience participation. Harmeet, why don't you go through the SIPS ratings?
All right. Well, since I'd started the accent, I'll just go ahead and.
There
do
you
the
go.
accent.
You can keep going with it. Are you doing which ancestor are you doing today?
I'm going to do my wife's side of the family.
Your wife's
which is-
side of the family.
It's all white. I think you've heard this one before. But
Okay.
We'll try
all
it
right.
again.
We'll go for it.
All right.
He's a method actor.
I've got to get in my mind space. I'm thinking right now, and
he's thinking this is bad.
it's hurting, and
is
you
not
can see
working
the smoke starting to fill the room here. So let's do the sips ratings, y'all. One sip. Give me a glass of water to wash out my mouth.
Ganga, water. Bring water. Bring water.
We think it's one of your ancestors.
I should have done the other accent. 2 sips. Nice. But what else do you have?
Well, isn't that nice?
3 sips. Very interesting. What was that again? You can visualize the head bob for that one. I'm doing the head bob. 4 sips. Let's keep this a secret to ourselves. Pour me another.
That's classified.
Finally, 5 sips. Oh my. I was unaware anything could be this good.
Oh my goodness!
All
Easy to
right.
keep that straight. So nice, but what else do you have, huh, Bob? Not even that good for you.
Well, thanks for going over that, Harmeet, and the other personalities that reside in you today. I appreciate that.
Sybil, table for 12.
That'll work.
We left his medication.
So our
I forgot which accent I was doing. Switched.
it's a common occurrence here on the show. So during our audience participation show, what we're doing is, as each person's going to come up, we're going to ask each person to kind of put a little twist on the whole orphan thing. So this is from the Orphan Barrel series, and everyone is also going to have to choose their favorite song from a play or a movie featuring an orphan as a principal character. And we have some clips to go along through the day. So I'm going to ask good old boy Brent to do his first. and then Bob and Harmeet and myself will go through ours, as well as the audience here. You ready for this, good old boy Brent? All right, I'm going to pass the microphone here, and then you're going to say what your favorite song is going to be.
Okay, my favorite Orphan song is going to be from was going to be Simba, and it goes a little bit like this.
I just can't wait to be king.
You've got a long way to go, young master. If you
I just can't wait to be king.
Pretty good. Great start there. I love that. All right. So we're going to go through some of our audience here. As we're also talking about our favorite song. Long list of orphans. You know, I was really surprised how many orphans there were as we were going through all of this. And so up next, we're going to have good old boy Murray, who's going to join us. He's putting his headphones on, and he and I are going to pass the microphone back and forth. And I'm actually going to steal Bob's. That's what I'm going to do here. Yeah. There we go. So you and I can talk at the same time. Welcome to the show, good old boy Murray.
Thank you. It's fun to be here.
Yeah, you say that now.
He just started drinking.
I agree. So, have you had anything out of the Orphan Barrel series before?
I've had almost all of them.
All of them, he says. Huh? The Gifted Horse is fairly new to the market. Have you had it yet?
Today's first time.
Oh, there you go. So, tell us a little bit about what you thought about Gifted Horse itself, your taste.
Well, I got to tell you, I was hoping to disagree with Brent, just because. And having a contrary opinion would be nice. It's so easy to say, well, I concur. But I do fairly much concur with Brent.
Wow.
It is not my favorite Orphan Barrel.
Did he give you a check? This is a $20 bill, or how'd this work out?
If it's a check for Brent, it won't cash.
Bob says if it's a check from Brent, as he's walking over to hand a good $2 bill over to Murray right now. So you got to love it. So what else about any of your tasting notes? So that you didn't particularly enjoy it. What was it that you did not like?
I again thought it was unbalanced. I thought it had some harsh notes. I thought the most pleasant thing was the nose, but on the palate it just didn't have the richness, the mouthfeel, or the harmony.
Maury, I got to ask, did you add water to this at all, or just drink it neat?
I've been drinking it neat.
Well, in their own tasting notes, they say that it opens up with some water. You want to try some here?
Maybe
I
like
would love
half a
to.
cap full. How about that? We'll try that.
All right, we'll try that.
Oh, you haven't even have a pipette.
Bob brings the little pipette.
Bob has a pocket pipette.
Because he's a pretentious bastard.
That is a whiskey nut right there. Walks around with his own pipette. Bob, do you have is that monogrammed as well?
Yes, it's monogram.
Gotta love that.
Well, it does open up with a little water, but I don't know that it really changes my overall opinion.
So, all right. So, Murray, what's going to be your sips rating then for the Orphan Barrel Gifted Horse then? 1 to 5.
I'm going to give it a 2.5.
Ooh, there's no halvesies on this. Sorry. You're automatically rejected off the show, but thank you for playing. 1 to 5. Big whole numbers. It's really difficult.
I'll give it a 3.
A 3, he says.
Interesting.
How about that? Interesting. What was that again? And the most important part of our question for the day is, what is your favorite song from a play or movie that features an orphan as a principal character?
It's A Hard Knock Life.
Ooh, he's going to go with A Hard Knock Life. Let me fire some of that up for you, and you can sing along.
It's the hard knock life for us. It's the hard knock life for us. Stand treated, we get drink.
Oh, that's it? It's A Hard Knock Life? That's the whole bit of the song that you enjoy?
That's the whole bit.
Oh, my God, you suck.
I never claimed to be a musical
No more
whiz.
whiskey for you. Get that way.
I'm a whiskey drinker, not a singer.
Oh, there you go. Well, thanks for joining us, good old boy Murray.
Thank you. It's a pleasure and an honor to be here.
Yeah, he says that now. Wait until he gets our bill a little bit later. But you leave the microphones there, and you can take that dram of Gifted Horse with you. And up next is going to be good old gal Jennifer. She's ready. She's going to walk over here and join us for this. Bob, what do you think about Murray's review?
I think he's a paid shill from Brent. That's what I think. Yeah.
Nope. He's part of the problem.
Yep.
Not the solution.
Always part of the problem. So while Jennifer's getting settled here with us, Harmeet, what's going to be your favorite song for the day?
I haven't even given her a rating yet.
We haven't even gone through our own tasting and rating.
No.
Oh, okay. Well,
I hate to say this, but damn it, Brent, you were right. I love the nose, and I'm like trying to talk it up. I love the nose of this whiskey, even with the water. I think it's really balanced and beautiful and nutty, and there's that apple peel going on, some custard. But when I taste it, it falls flat. And I think it's because it is a blend of very old whiskey and some young whiskey. I think there's not enough old whiskey in this. They stretched it out too much. So I'm going to give it a 2.
Wow.
Well, isn't that nice?
And the most important part about the question of our ratings today is, what's your favorite song?
Okay. You already heard the accent. So, there is a very famous orphan from my country.
Bocephus. That's what Bob said. Sorry. I had the microphone.
Not Little
too.
Black Sambo. There was this boy named Mowgli. And
okay.
my daughter loves the damn show.
All right. So from the Jungle Book, here we go.
For the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about
I don't know the song, damn it. I don't watch this.
Oh, man. Epic fail. I
was
think
horrible.
it's doing pretty good.
I pulled up the...
That's like half a bar, man.
I pulled up the lyrics on my iPhone, and of course I didn't keep it active, and the screen went blank. I wasn't watching.
All right. We'll let you play
I'm about the drinking today.
Well,
Thank you, Mike.
We're definitely getting to that.
As opposed to every other day.
Well, welcome to the table. Good old gal Jennifer. Lean into that microphone
Cheers,
pretty
Jennifer.
hard there and definitely talk to
Hello.
us. Yep. Thank you so very much for joining us here.
Sure.
Yep. Yeah, definitely a victim. That was pretty lame, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, it wasn't even close to Disney Hall of Fame, that's for sure. Jennifer, tell us, have you ever tried the Gifted Horse, and what do you think about the tasting notes you had today?
I have tried it before, actually just last week up in Tallahassee. And this reminds me of Corn Pops, the cereal.
Oh, yeah.
Where
that's pretty good.
It's like a fake corn taste. It's not a real corn taste. It's an overly sweet corn taste. And I wrote that it sort of felt like the Corn Pops had been caramelized, except that instead of caramelizing, with a blowtorch like a creme brulee outside of my mouth,
You're so fancy.
the finish, someone stuck the blowtorch in my mouth and decided to caramelize at the same time.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
I do my tasting notes visually. I have a graph system that I use, so I drew Corn Pops and then a blowtorch happening at the end. That's what I drew.
It's a radio show, Jennifer.
I know.
I appreciate
Doctor of words, I'll try.
Look at my pretty picture, everybody.
Yeah, on the radio.
When are you going to start doing filming the podcast? When you do this on YouTube?
Never, ever. We all have faces for
radio.
That was the writing principle. Bob saying,
"Have you looked at this group? Are you insane?"
I already described the white boys.
Absolutely. Jennifer, what's going to be your sips rating then from 1 to 5?
I can't even give it a 2 because 2 says nice, and I can't say that about this. So I'm going to have to go with 1 or 1 and I don't know if you have a half. Is that allowed? Then I'm just going to go with a 1. That's it.
Bring water.
Well, number 1, give me a
water.
glass of water to wash out my mouth. Wow, look at that. He's just pouring it steep, too.
I'm going to need about 6 more of these.
So she got straight water in that glass.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Wow.
Yes,
that
sir.
is quite unfortunate.
Yes.
Well, so we get to the most important part of the question, which is, what's your favorite song from a play or a movie featuring an orphan?
Given this extensive list of movies, I'm surprised you didn't include Frozen.
Well, sing away. I don't have a clip from it, but I'm sure you've heard it no less than 30 times.
I did too much musical theater when I was younger and have never recovered. So I guess Let It Go. Everyone loves,
let's hear
everyone who has a child knows this song. So let it go, and that's the only part of the song I know.
And I was called lame.
You are. I am lame. You are lame, but that was pretty good.
Thank you.
I have to say that was pretty good, Jennifer.
Thanks.
Yeah, she even got a little adventurous.
I don't know what your natural hair color is, but with the red, Maury should not have stolen Annie from you.
Well, I also put Anne of Green Gables down on my sheet, but that's just me being an overachiever, so sorry.
How excellent. Well, thank you for joining us
Thank you
here
so
on
much.
Sips, Suds, and Smokes. Yep, just take those headphones off, put those, plop those right down. So we'll take the time here to go through Bob's tasting notes. I'm going to pass the microphone back to him, let him share everybody what he thinks about Gifted Horse.
All right. This is a tough one. I agree the nose on it is really nice. I do enjoy the nose. It does have a bit of a caramelly, popcorny kind of Cracker Jack nose to it. But again, once you drink it, that's where it starts to fall off. The palate on it is very, very shallow. The finish is it doesn't seem, what is it? It's yeah, it definitely seems a lot hotter than the ABV that it lists. I don't know if I think it's just probably because the young whiskey that's in there. It's definitely a little bit hot. I give it a 2.
Wow, how about that? A 2.
Well, isn't that nice?
Well, listen, we're coming right up here on our commercial break, and so we're going to come back here in just a little bit. We're going to talk about Bob's favorite song. You got one?
Sure.
Is it playing in your head?
Always. Yeah. along with about 9 other voices. Yeah, why? Yeah.
More than Harmeet.
Bob's theme song.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, listen, we'll be right back after this commercial break. We'll go through songs with Bob on today's episode. And then up next will be Dr. Jim telling us what he thinks about Gifted Horse. We'll be right back in 1 minute.
The simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife.
Yeah, man.
I mean the bare necessities. That's why a bear can rest at ease with just the bare necessities of life.
Hey, welcome back to Sips, Suds, and Smokes. On today's Sips episode, we are talking about Gifted Horse from Diageo's Orphan Barrel series. Is what we're going through. And this is an audience participation show that we're actually recording live at the Gator Club in Sarasota, Florida. We really enjoyed being here today and having some great folks come up and enjoy us from the audience. So while we're getting ready to talk to Dr. Jim here, I'm going to let Bob choose his favorite song from a play or a movie featuring an orphan. All right, take it away. Made Man Bob.
Batman.
Ooh,
Nice. He didn't even try to sing.
Right.
All you had to say was Batman.
I'm Batman. Harmeet, hand me the whiskey. Robin.
Done. All right. Well, this is Harmeet here, good old boy Harmeet. I have the pleasure of sitting across here from Dr. Jim. Dr. Jim, was this the first time you've tasted Orphan Barrel?
Yes, sir.
All right.
I'm a real novice in tasting whiskey.
Have you tasted any other Orphan barrels?
No.
This is the first Orphan barrel you ever. So you can't say this is the worst Orphan barrel you've tasted. That's good.
Could be the best.
He can. He's only tasted one if it's.
So are you a whiskey aficionado?
No, not at all.
No,
My son is.
All right. So you're doing this as a whiskey novice. So as a novice to whiskey, as someone who's not a big drinker, what do you think about this? When you pick this up and you smell this, what do you smell? Do you like the nose?
I like the nose.
You do?
Yeah.
What about do you like? The sweetness or is there nuttiness? What is this?
The nuttiness.
The nuttiness, right?
Yeah.
Because it's a complex nose, right?
Yeah, very complex nose.
I mean, I understand the whole corn pops thing, but it's good.
It's like it's Cracker Jacks.
Cracker Jacks.
That sort of
There's
burnt
a
caramel.
sweetness. So,
Yeah.
so you like that? You like that good? It's a nice complex nose. And then when you first give it a sip, what do you think?
I thought, from the name, Gifted Horse, I thought it first tasted like horse piss.
Nice.
But then I had a second and a third taste, and it got better as I went along. And now that I'm numb, it tastes great.
Well,
so I'm good for about a third of an ounce
There's
of
something
whiskey.
to that. Let me tell you. When you're drinking whiskey, the first sip is always going to be a shock to the palate of any alcohol. The first sip, you never judge any alcohol on the first sip.
Well, then good.
It's always the second sip.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, a trick is, before you take a sip of whiskey, inhale, and then as you swallow it, right afterwards exhale. So when you don't have that thing where you put the whiskey in your mouth and then you inhale again, then you just get alcohol fumes in your lungs. That's part of the burn. You'll avoid burn.
Exhale through your mouth as well as through your nose.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Exactly.
Very slowly, just.
So inhale
So
first.
let's do this as beginners. You're going to
Inhale.
hold your whiskey up.
Okay.
You're going to smell it from your chin, then your lips, and then get your nose in the glass and get there.
Okay.
All right. Now, and as you're inhaling, open your mouth. So you inhale with your mouth closed, and halfway through, open your mouth. And as you open your mouth, you should feel the vapors from that alcohol go to the back of your throat, and you get more of a taste. So, are you appreciating it more? Is it still horse piss?
No.
Okay, so good. It's not horse piss. Or a horse on steroids. Okay, so now, take that sip. Well, first inhale, take the sip, and then exhale. What do you taste? You like it?
It tastes oaky.
There's a good bit of oak. One of these whiskeys in here was 16 years in oak. All right.
That makes sense.
So, as a novice, what's your rating? What do you think?
I gave it a 3.
Very good.
Uh-huh.
Very nice.
But
Well,
you did a
thank
good
for
job
that.
training me on that. Thank you very much.
Well, now the most important question. Your favorite orphan?
Oh, Mike has a whole list of orphans here, but he missed one. I hope you don't mind if I don't listen to your music. But there's an orphan in the film Teddy Bear. It's an orphan bodybuilder starring Kim Cold and Langaporn Sagnami.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Teddy Bear?
Teddy Bear? Wait, when was this movie released?
This is 2012.
See,
But
I have a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
I don't go out anymore.
Yeah.
This is it.
Well, you
He stays home and watches the Wiggles.
So this would be the old Elvis song, Teddy Bear.
Okay.
So
we don't have a song.
Let me be your loving teddy bear. Put your arms around my neck and lead me anywhere. Oh, let me be your teddy bear.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Jim.
Thank you, Dr. Jim, for joining us and coming up with the fattest production that we're going to have to go through today, that's for sure. All right, up next is going to be good old gal Patty, who's going to come and join us here to talk about Gifted Horse. Why don't you can hang on to that. That's yours. I'm not going to read that for you. I'm going to pass this microphone
Where's your
over
whiskey,
to you.
Patty?
I drink it.
We can have more.
Oh, good. Thank you, God. I have to put these
Yep,
up.
there we go.
Can I say what, like,
Yeah, you can,
anything
just,
I
you can pop those headphones on there, yep, and lean into that microphone, get nice and cozy with it.
There's a little more whiskey for you.
There you go.
Yeah.
And you can try it without water, or you can also try a little dash of water if you'd like.
I don't need water.
So, welcome to the show, good old gal Patty. Thank you very much. So, Have you ever been on a radio show?
No. I hear you're from Nashville.
Yes, sometimes I'm in Nashville. That is correct, yeah. Okay. Occasionally. Not as much as I'd like to be there. So, have you ever tasted anything out of the Orphan Barrel series from Diageo? Does it ring a bell?
No, I never did. I was wondering who brewed this.
Cool. Well, there you go. We like unadulterated palates. That's a big word. It's a super big word. Harmeet's looking at me like, how many D's is adulterated, Mike?
I'm unadulterated.
Hey.
So, good old gal Patty, what did you think about Gifted Horse?
I like how he cut me off before I did the dirty jokes. I like that.
You can tell
planning.
dirty jokes.
Yep.
It's a clean radio show.
Yep.
We can't do that.
So, lean into the microphone there. Patty.
Okay.
Actually, so we can hear you.
I feel like I'm too loud because I talk
you're
real
not
loud.
Too loud. There is no too loud on the show, except for Harmeet. But yeah.
I'll tell you what, truthfully, it tastes like fire.
Oh,
fire! No, it has a great flavor. I love whiskey, but it burns.
Really?
It's gonna burn.
It's 115 proof, Patty.
Yeah. Well, you didn't tell me that.
Well, that's why we asked you to put a little tiny bit of water. Here.
No, I don't want water.
I'm going to do it for you.
Yeah, let him set you up here.
Look how little water I use.
Monogram pipette.
Let's just see a little tiny bit of water.
All right.
Now smell the difference between that before.
Okay.
And then, like I said, mouth closed when you start smelling. Halfway through, open it up.
Okay.
Get it more?
There's a difference.
Have a taste. You might get more flavors this way.
Why are you laughing?
My mind is going in a very strange place right now.
I bet
it's not very healthy.
Close your mouth. Be right. Yeah. Okay.
Close your mouth. Breathe.
Never mind.
Enjoy
this
the
is a kid show.
This is a family-friendly whiskey show.
Okay.
So, did it get any better there, Patty?
Actually, it did.
With a little bit of cold water.
That?
Yeah.
How about this? Score one for Harmeet there.
So I just need to drink it with water.
Just a drop. I didn't put a ton. I didn't put a ton of it.
So
you can put it on the rocks, but then when you put ice in whiskey, you're going to taste it pretty much undiluted. And as the ice melts, you get more and more of a dilution, and you'll get a spectrum of flavors. But if you put the right amount of water the first time, every drop is perfect. So, so what's your rating?
Oh, my sips rating?
Yeah, your sips rating.
Well, can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure, you can ask.
Because I don't know if I missed it or what, but like, who's the distiller? I don't know who makes
the big question. Yeah, so that's part of the whole mystery about this series. So the Orphan Barrel series is sourced whiskey that is distributed by Diageo. So what they did is they went around, they bought the whiskey. We don't know who distilled it, and they blended this together. So it was a 17-year and a 4-year.
2 4-year-olds and
2 4s. Yeah, I knew I'd screw it up. Yep. So we don't know actually.
Well, the rumor is Bernheim.
There you go.
That's the rumor. Okay, but you can buy this. Can we buy this?
Oh yeah, you can buy
sure.
this, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So what's your sips rating on that?
Not 2. Ooh, nice, but what else do you have?
There you go. And the most important question of the day, which is, what's your favorite song featuring a orphan?
Orphan? You didn't say orphan. Are these orphans?
There's all orphans.
She's been drinking while the rest of us have been doing the radio show.
So you circled Dorothy there from Wizard of Oz.
Right. Yep. The only song.
Do you remember how this went? Or you need a little bit of the...
No,
Is she an orphan?
Which one?
Her parents
I wanted
didn't die.
Follow the Yellow Brick Road.
Oh, I don't have that one, but I do have something just as good. You sing along with me.
Okay, I'll sing it. The rainbow. Oh my God, I'm going to drive every one of them.
Up high, the land that I dream of, once in a lullaby. Very good, Patty.
Yeah.
All right, how about that, everybody? Big hand for Patty. She rocked there. Great choice. Thank you very much for joining us, good old gal Patty.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining
sip?
us. She wants a little more sip. I love that.
Hey, I had to sing. Hey, you all should have another job.
We all have to sing for something. All right. Well, listen, we're going to just do a quick do-si-do here. Well, Harmeet's going to vamp while I pass the microphones around.
I have no idea what's going on. I'm supposed to be vamping, but Is that something like voguing? Because should I be moving my hands like this?
Yeah.
That worked.
Yeah.
There you go.
Pretend you're David Bowie. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
I'm not that talented, my friend. I'm not that talented, nor am I that bisexual.
Well,
you're definitely not that talented. That's the only part I can attest to.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to go over my own tasting notes here on Orphan Barrel. Very interesting, listening to everybody's, tasting notes, kind of around this. And I have to say that it is really quite hot, right out of the barrel, or right out of the bottle itself. And it was abrasive, I thought, just straight at cast strength, which is not always what I really do enjoy a lot of things at cast strength. Definitely, this is something you've got to add a little bit of water to it for it to open up. So it definitely took on a lot more sweetness, and certainly the caramel came out. The wood was absolutely.
But did the blowtorch in your mouth come out?
Well, yeah, that too. But the wood itself, I thought, was the thing that really kind of stepped forward as soon as you added the water in this itself. But I think probably in the scheme of things, I don't know that I was a huge fan of this. I just really did not find this to be an incredibly well-balanced whiskey.
The nose over promises. I think that was the problem. Yeah. Everybody loved the nose. You expected more from the palate.
Yeah, I really did. And, I think everybody, I was remembering a lot of the reaction when this first came out, and everybody was really saying, this is really just overpriced corn whiskey. You think that's a fair statement? $50.
It's, corn squeezins is corn squeezins, my friend.
That's true, yeah.
But there's $100, and there's Pappy Van Winkle's corn squeezins too, if you want to go there.
Yeah, and even the finish off this, even just slightly diluted, still very pretty hot finish even on the back end of this. The sweetness is definitely on the front end, presentation, for this. But yeah, it's like two staves of wood that are scrubbing up against my cheeks, going, "Hey, the oak's here to stay, baby." So actually, my sips rating for Gifted Horse is going to be a 2 as well.
Chewing on a barrel.
All right, so I have to pick a song that nobody has done today. I did enjoy singing a little bit of Wizard of Oz, but
I think you meant Wizard of the Oz.
That your bottom dogs and the sorrows till there's none, and then the day and waits and lonely. I can tell my sin and say, just thinking about the end of this episode's happening right now.
The pain. Pain.
Oh, the pain.
The horror.
I dreamed a dream in time gone by, when hope was high and life worth living. I dreamed that love would never die. I dreamed that God would be forgiving. Then I was young and unafraid, and dreams were made and used and wasted. There was no ransom to be paid, no song unsung, no wine untasted. But the tigers come at night, with their voices soft as thunder, as they tear your hope apart, as they turn your dream to shame. my childhood in his stride, but he was gone when autumn came.
Well, that's it. You've pissed away another good 22 minutes of your life, and let's wrap up today's episode on Gifted Barrel. We really hope you enjoyed this episode.
Divorced.
And you can catch all of our episodes online, as well as on SoundCloud, TuneIn, Stitcher, YouTube, PRX, Spreaker, and our native media host. iTunes and our own Android app are the easiest ways to enjoy the show on your phone. Just search for Sips, Suds, and Smokes on iTunes or in the Google Play Store. We love your feedback as well. You can reach us online anytime at info@sipsudsandsmokes.com. Our daily tasting notes flow out on Twitter every single day. Our handle on Twitter is @SipSudSmokes, and our Facebook page is always buzzing with lots of news. Do us a favor and take the time to rate this episode if you're listening to us online. That's a great big help to us, and we get to see your feedback as well. Please do not rate any of our renditions of any of the Orphan songs. That would be cruel. Yes, it was really lame. Do you want like a second shot at the bare necessities? No.
Please, no.
Jeez.
Well, thank you guys for being here for this episode. We'll wrap things up for today. Bye. Keep on sipping this good old boy.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for being here.
I stepped all over your sign out.
This has been a One Tan Hand production of Sips, Suds, and Smokes, a program devoted to the appreciation of some of the finer slices of life. From the Dude in the Basement Studios, your hosts, the Good Old Boys, will see you all next time.